You've reached the Busy Signal. I'm Jim, your host, and this podcast is all about revisiting the pop culture we grew up with. From the TV shows and movies we loved, to music, commercials, and the moments that never really left us. The Busy Signal, episode 62. Thanks for listening. You know, before algorithms decided what we see and know about love, before influencers were telling us how to be romantic, we learned about Valentine's Day through the magic of television commercials. They taught us so many things. They taught us that showing love on Valentine's Day was important and that there were many ways to buy love in order to participate in this very special day. You could buy love in the forms of heart-shaped boxes, foil-wrapped chocolates, and stuffed animals holding plush hearts. It didn't matter really, it was just the bigger, the better. Valentine's Day advertisements in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s didn't just sell us candy, they sold us expectations. Big ones, glossy ones, and really weird ones sometimes. For a lot of us, these ads weren't just interruptions. They shaped our ideas of what Valentine's Day is and how much it should cost. We were told what was cool, what was sweet, and what supposedly was going to make someone like us back. So today we're rewinding to Valentine's Day back in the day. We're digging up some of the cheesy, over-the-top, and weirdly emotional commercials that became part of how we remember the most commercial holiday of the year. It's Valentine's Day, right here on the Busy Signal. First, let's talk cards. For me, growing up in the 80s, Valentine's Day was a weird ritual that we did in school. You'd decorate a small brown paper lunch bag prior to February 14th, you leave it on your desk, and on Valentine's Day, time would be given for the class to distribute cards to their classmates. So as early as kindergarten, the idea that Valentine's Day equals greeting cards was drilled into our heads. As we grew up, all of our Valentine's Days began the same way, in the card aisle. That slow walk past the spinning racks of heart-shaped everything in tiny envelopes. There was real pressure here. This unspoken rule that you had to find the right card, but not a card that tries too hard. And looming all over this? Hallmark. As a kid, I looked at Hallmark as the gold standard for cards. Like, if it didn't say Hallmark, could it actually even be a Valentine's Day card, right? And back in the day, Hallmark commercials were like minute-long movies, complete with character developments and plot twists. They were cozy, soft lighting, gentle music, and the promise that if you bought the right card or box of something, you were basically doing romance correctly. And then there was this ad with John Ratzenberger in 1991. At the time, he was known for his role on Cheers as the lovable mailman who sat next to Norm at Sam's Bar, and that's what he's playing on in this ad. This was before he had all those roles for Disney Pixar. Like, he literally is like a voice in every Disney Pixar movie, starting with Toy Story. We all know that. But anyway, John Ratzenberger's Hallmark commercial. This was different.
This year, my buddies the mail carriers are helping Hallmark make you a hero. Just give your Valentine classic sweets. It's an exclusive collection of the finest chocolates. Then a few weeks later, Hallmark mails your Valentine a second box of chocolates. All for just $3.95 with any Hallmark card purchase at participating stores. So your Valentine feels special and you feel like a hero. Thanks to your dedicated mail carrier. Oh, and Hallmark. This year, go to Hallmark and give twice the love.
I mean, think about that for a second. You're buying a card and chocolates, and Hallmark's like, hey, here's a follow-up box of chocolates in the mail. Treat yourself. This is just one of so many memorable Hallmark commercials that we were inundated with as kids, albeit one of the more interesting ones due to the mini box of chocolate in the mail. I wonder if they still do that. Hallmark wasn't the only one teaching us how to Valentine's Day, by the way. McDonald's was making sure kids were learning early. February 1990, the big prize in Happy Meals? 6 Valentine's Day cards. Not just any Valentine's Day cards, by the way. Scratch and sniff Valentine's Day cards. I can only imagine that this was supposed to be like a major flex as a kid. You only got 6 in this meal, so you had to choose who got them wisely. Kids would know that this was a big deal because they've all seen the commercial.
Gifts for me?
Good time, great taste. That's why this is the place.
The good time, great taste
of McDonald's.
What's fun to give? Even more fun to get? Scratch and sniff Valentines from McDonald's. Now, with each Happy Meal you buy, you get 6 different Valentines to give to your friends.
Here.
Maybe that special girl
Here.
or guy. McDonald's Valentine Happy Meal. 2 sets to collect.
Then you and your friends could try and decipher the scent of each card. Like, hey, this one's cherry. Nah, man, that's Robitussin. Mine smells like stale French fries. Wait, maybe that's chocolate. Fun, right? That sounds like a good time. This whole school Valentine's Day ritual wasn't optional, by the way. This was part of a great cultural training program. You will give out Valentine's Day cards. You will distribute those cards to your classmates. But what if you're not crafty? No problem. McDonald's had you covered. Your Happy Meal box turned into a Valentine's Day card receiver. Suddenly, you're a greasy-fingered Cupid with cheeseburger breath handing out your cards to everyone. So while parents did the Hallmark thing, you could do the Mickey D's thing. It was adorable. Or weird. Take your pick. Okay, chocolates, check. Cards, check. But this wasn't enough, according to my Valentine's TV training. Buying stuff is only part of the big Cupid picture. There needs to be something more. Something from the heart that we actually put effort into, right? Luckily, every year like clockwork, Pillsbury would roll in with a brand new Valentine's Day set of cookies. But obviously these couldn't just be any cookies. They are seasonal, limited time, emotionally manipulative cookies. Hearts, pink frosting, red sprinkles, sometimes a shape that was technically a heart but looked more like the blob by the time it came out of the oven. Some people are better at baking than others, but it was the thought that counts, right?
It's Valentine's Day. Tell them you love them with those 3 little words.
Pillsbury sugar cookies.
Just roll, cut, bake, then decorate with your own sweet message. They're the perfect way to say, I love you, oh.
Oops.
And that's the genius behind these annual cookies. They made Valentine's Day feel hands-on. This was a labor of love rather than simply buying something like a card. You weren't just buying candy, you were baking, or at least you opened a tube or a package and slapped some dough on a tray and called it baking, which is the most honest 90s definition of the word. And somehow, it worked. The house smelled like sugar cookies, the kitchen looked like a craft store exploded, and for a brief doughy moment, you were doing Valentine's Day correctly. By the mid-1980s, Valentine's Day was already turning into a full-on commercial obstacle course. Cards, candy, maybe reservations, definitely pressure. And then, in 1986, someone had a brilliantly simple idea. What if romance had a phone number? Easy. Hold on. Relax. This is a family-friendly show. It's going to be okay. 1-800-FLOWERS. You didn't need to know a florist anymore. You didn't need to know how flowers even worked. You just needed to remember 1-800-FLOWERS. Suddenly, sending flowers wasn't a whole errand. It was a phone call.
Hi, I'm Jim McCann of 800 Flowers, and today we have 2 very special guests with us. So who made the card, guy?
All the kids at 800 Flowers.
Who's it for?
Everyone in the whole wide world. Yuck.
If you'd like to send someone a happy Valentine's wish, call 1-800-Flowers for a Cupid's Collection bouquet.
That's 1 Cupid's Collection bouquet, guaranteed and delivered by February 14th.
Hit it, guys.
Happy Valentine's Day! Yuck.
And boom, you looked thoughtful, even though you remembered Valentine's Day at 9:47 a.m. By the early 90s, 1-800-Flowers got even more futuristic. They jumped onto the internet, back when going online still felt like you were booting up a spaceship. And by 1995, they were AOL's exclusive floral provider. 1-800-Flowers changed how easy Valentine's Day actually could be. Sure, you could still go buy chocolates and you could still buy a card, and if you were ambitious, baking was still the option. But flowers? Flowers felt different. You didn't just hand off flowers to someone, you sent them. They showed up at someone's home or job, they interrupted the day, but in the best way possible. This seemed like a hack. With just a call or a few clicks, you were a romantic without ever leaving your home. This was Valentine's Day the right way, right? Maybe not. As soon as January ended, you could almost set your watch by it. The jewelry commercials came out of the woodwork. Just rapid fire, every commercial break, asking the same question. How much do you love them? Really? And these commercials just leveled up in the 90s and early 2000s. You were basically guaranteed to hear 2 things. First, Kay Jewelers with that line that got burned into everyone's brain.
Every kiss begins with K.
Yeah, that. It didn't matter what show you were watching, sitcom, drama, Saturday morning TV. At some point, Kay was going to show up and remind you that romance had a tagline.
What in the world can you give the woman who's already taken your heart?
David, dinner and this were enough.
Go ahead, open it. Do you like it?
You might want to start with this. A Kay Jewelers I Love You diamond ring with a free lead crystal keepsake. And you can be assured of two things. First, that Kay diamonds are hand-selected for exceptional beauty. And second, that you'll absolutely love it.
No, once is enough, thank you. We're good. That's actually pretty annoying. And then there was De Beers with A Diamond Is Forever. You always knew when these commercials were coming on because you heard them before you saw them mostly. They always kicked off with the same iconic music, followed by soft lighting, shadowy silhouettes of elegant people, slow movement, and jewelry that looked like it belonged in a museum. They weren't funny or loud. They were serious, important, almost sacred. The message was always clear though. Valentine's Day was more than cards and candy. This is the big leagues. If you really wanted to do Valentine's Day properly, you were supposed to walk into a jewelry store and walk out with something shiny in a tiny velvet-covered box, preferably that came with monthly payments. And just like the card ads, the candy ads, cookies and flowers, this became another unavoidable part of the Valentine's Day season. Somewhere in the early 90s, we decided Valentine's Day needed another category of gift. A highly airbrushed, aggressively lit photo of yourself. Enter glamour shots. If you watched TV in the first half of the 90s, you definitely saw these commercials. They promised that in about an hour, a mall photography studio could transform you into a Bon Jovi groupie who may or may not be auditioning for a power ballad montage video. That's really what it was. Big hair and lighting so dramatic it looked like you were selling perfume or about to confess your whereabouts on January 16th, 1989. The pitch was simple. Instead of buying your loved ones normal Valentine's Day gifts like the ones we've covered so far in this show, you give them you, framed, glossy, and somehow 10 years older. It's an interesting concept. It's not, I got you something, it's, I had teenagers make me over into a cocktail waitress. Here you go.
You want to give him something for Valentine's Day that he'll treasure forever? Then give him yourself, all wrapped up in glamorous color portraits from Glamour Shots High Fashion Photography. It's the hottest Valentine's gift idea in years. He'll love your beautiful portraits, and you'll have fun too. Your Glamour Shots photo session includes a complete makeover, hairstyling, wardrobe selections, 12 to 15 poses, and instant viewing of your color video proofs. Call today for an appointment. It's the perfect Valentine's gift.
But look, it worked. People did this a lot. There's entire families out there with drawers full of glamour shots that look like rejected cast photos from an 80s soap opera. Nothing says, I love you, quite like handing someone a framed, heavily retouched photo of yourself with the obligation to keep it on display forever. I mean, with the apps that we have these days, I don't know that much has changed. We just have glamour shots in our pockets now. So far, we've talked about all the stuff you could buy and give to participate in the machine that is commercialism's greatest quote-unquote holiday. But what if you're a toddler? How were those under 3 feet tall and not school age going to feel included? This was actually a problem somebody contemplated, and in 1989, someone finally found a solution. A 1-900 number. Hey, stop it. I'll say it again. This is a family show. It's okay. The Care Bears had their own premium phone line.
Hi, kids. We're the Care Bears, and we have a special Valentine message just for you.
Call us right now at 1-900-909-5678, and we'll tell you how we're getting ready for Valentine's Day in Caroline.
We'll have new, exciting stories for you every day.
Remember, Valentine's Day is just around the corner.
And there's cards to make,
cakes to bake,
and all kinds of fun we can have together. $2 the first minute, 45 cents each additional minute. Kids, please check with your parents before you call.
I mean, it all sounds cute, right? Until you get to the end where they tell you it's $2 a minute and 45 cents each additional minute. And this is 1989 money here, so that's a lot. And every day there was a different story. So kids are going to be asking every day, can I call the Care Bears? Did anyone's parents actually let them call the Care Bears for Valentine's Day? I'd love to hear about this. If you're out there and you called the Care Bears to hear how they were preparing for Valentine's Day in Care-a-Lot, please hit me up on Instagram. Send me a message at BusySignalCast. I'd love to hear that story. A 10-minute phone call would be over $6, which is crazy work. Valentine's Day cheer for toddlers was being billed like long-distance calls to the moon. And also, let's address the elephant in the room whose parents were letting them call any number that began with 1-900. I'm just going to choose to believe that absolutely no one's parents were okay with that. But you heard the commercial. This was an option, and therefore all bases were covered. There was a way for everyone to participate in Valentine's Day, even if you phoned it in to talk to cartoon bears. Well, I guess that's going to do it for this trip back through Valentine's Day past. The commercials, the cookies, the cards, and all the very aggressive marketing campaigns that somehow convinced us that love could be baked, boxed, or dialed up on your touch-tone phone. And if this episode unlocked a memory for you, a really cool Valentine's Day memory or some other memory that you hadn't thought of in years, well, you should come hang out with the Busy Signal on Instagram. Hug that follow button because I'm always posting weird little bits of nostalgia, and I'd love to hear about what you remember. Also, just in general, if you're enjoying this episode, make sure to subscribe on Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your pods. A 5-star rating and a positive review really helps more people find the show, and it only takes a minute, I promise. Oh, and by the way, don't go calling that Care Bears phone number. Don't even bother. They're not there. No one is. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Catch you later. Once again, I'd like to say thanks for listening. And as always, you can listen to the Busy Signal everywhere quality podcasts are streamed. Hit the subscribe button to have a new episode delivered directly to your favorite device every other Friday. If you really like the show, leave a 5-star rating or a positive review on Apple and Spotify. You can also head over to Instagram and follow the show at BusySignalCast. And until next time, remember, reach out and touch the past.
Every kiss begins with...
No.